Sunburn.
A man has died. Another person was injured after a crash on I-24. This happened last night just before 7 in the eastbound lanes near Whites Creek Pike. Metro police say a BMW had slowed its speed due to entering traffic. That's when it was rear-ended by a Honda Civic that was going too fast. The driver of the Civic, Juan Marin Ramirez, was taken to Skyline, and that's where he died. The driver of the BMW was injured, but we're told we'll be okay.
So inability and inexperience is what caused this accident here. And this was 2 days ago in Nashville. You look up crashes in Nashville. Pretty much once every 2 days this happens here. We have a fatal accident. In 2025, there were 6 million automobile accidents, 37 of which were fatal. That's not a good thing. We want to avoid that. And the NHTSA says that 94% of accidents are caused by human error. So that means that everybody in this room, that's our problem, right? We're responsible for this. There's that little 6% happens. But at the end of the day, that's our fault. We need to provide a safer driving experience and system for everybody, right? Because you are only as safe on the road as the person next to you. I don't care if you're an F1 driver, right? That person behind you has no clue what you're doing. You're about to get a rear end full of engine block, okay? So the CDC reports that young and inexperienced drivers, ages 16 to 19, are responsible for 3 times as many accidents as the age group of 30 to 59. Okay, think about that. That's a massive, massive group or number difference for just 4 years of ages versus 30. Okay, what does that tell us? The younger group is inexperienced. Right, they're dangerous. And as you get older and your age increases, your ability to drive, your abilities in general decreases, right? Your reflexes, your reaction times, your vision, your sight, you may be on medications. I mean, there's a lot of things as you get older, specifically into the 70s, 80s. That's where you're gonna see a lot of driving inability outside of the kind of midlife range that you're gonna see on this graph here. Obviously, left side graph, we've got our injuries, and on the right is fatalities and driving accidents. The graph is very common with what we just discussed with inexperienced drivers at a young age. High accident rate, as well as injury and fatality rate. And then it kind of gets lower and lower and lower as you get older. And then once you hit that kind of retirement age, where you're getting a little up there in age, you're gonna start to see the accident and injury and death rate rise with accidents. And this is common with all crashes as well. You see that younger and experienced driver skyrocket, you get better and better at driving with more experience, and then as you get older, you're gonna see an increase in accidents again at that retirement and post-retirement age. So what does this tell us? Experience cannot be taught in the classroom. Driver's ed is not enough, right? As you get older, you're going to be more experienced driving. Goes down. 60% of people say that the driver's ed test is just made to be passed at this point, right? So what we need to do is we need to lower the number of accidents and raise the number of skilled drivers on the roads. What does that mean? How do we do that? Defensive driving courses for drivers getting into the car for the first time. There's a business, a nonprofit actually, called Brakes. They do defensive driving programs for teenagers aged 15 to 19. They have a 64% success rate in keeping in no accidents essentially in the first 3 years of driving. So those who participate in the program, the first 3 years of driving are 64% less likely to be in an accident than Joe Schmo on the road who just goes in and takes his driver's test. And then what else we need to do is focus on periodic retesting. Pilots do this, you know, obviously that's a commercial airplane. It's kind of important, it's their job. But as you get older, I wouldn't mind a driver's test every 10 years. What do I forget? I don't know what I had for lunch today, right? Let alone a driver's test that I took 10 years ago. I've noticed myself, my ability to drive has decreased. I'm not the same driver I was in the last 10 years, right? And what this all boils down to at the end of the day is if you lose the ability to drive, we have to focus or consider the removal of the license, right? The driver's license this is a privilege, okay? There's a reason we take tests for it. There's a reason it's policed to the extent it is now. But with what we see with 6 million crashes a year, that's 1 in every 200 people in the United States will be in an accident in a year, right? That may not sound like a bunch, but I mean, there's 200 people in this building right now, right? So I would like to avoid that if possible. Yeah, so remember that as you get older with age, it's going to get worse, right? Everybody around you is just as experienced as they can be, but they can be more experienced if we give them the ability and we focus on periodic retesting as well.